Good morning, guys. I'm struggle bussing this morning. um, for those of you who watched yesterday's live stream, I did get Fuzzball out of the tree. What? You climbed way, he was like 40 feet up in a tree. So half the day yesterday was dedicated to catching this little Fuzzball right here. And he's my favorite cat. I couldn't let him go, right? And he's set up there for I'm one of those guys that my opinion is if a cat can get up a tree, then a cat can get out of the tree, right? Wrong. Not with Fuzzball. Wasn't the case yesterday. So, farm drama, cat up a tree. Welcome to the farm this morning, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Steam is coming off the pond. We did not have frost last night, which is surprising. I figured we would have had some frost. Well, maybe we did have frost. I'm looking at my jacket here. It was laying in the back of the Kubota, and that, to me, looks like frost. So we're going to take a different four-wheeler over to the cows than you guys have seen. You haven't seen this four-wheeler in use around the farm much lately, and I'm going to start using it a little bit more. It's got the wild hair... you'll see it, the wild hair loader system and 3-point hitch system. You can see it right there, but it doesn't have a cup holder. So we got our coffee mug and we're ready to rock and roll. I'll pull this critter out. It's dusty. It's been in the mega shop for quite some time. I'll pull this critter out and show it to you. Pretty impressive. If the four-wheeler a star. I don't get to use this machine much. Can you hear that? Good gracious. Come on, baby. Come on. Boy, that's a bummer. It's flashing here, telling me that the voltage is too low. Check engine light on. Dang it. You can do it. Start. I drove it down here yesterday. Okay, so... Well, good morning, ATV. This is the Honda Foreman 500 that needs a battery charge. When you don't use this stuff, that's why... Here's what my dad told me. He said, hey, man, I know you got all these machines and all this cool stuff. I'm going to tell you, they're going to end up owning you. And they do end up owning you. So the more stuff you have, the more it owns you. This is the wild hair loader system for this thing. And it's got a bucket on it. Really handy. What I was going to do is ride over there and push some brush out of the field. But that's kind of a bummer. Well, I got the seat off of it. I guess we'll be taking the Kubota. These things happen. I wasn't gonna take the Kubota because I needed to wipe the seat out. It's soaking wet, so I don't have a wet butt. We're gonna fix that right quick. All right, wet butt and wet windshield. All right, ill prepared this morning for our live stream. That's my name. Mr. Unprepared. Thought I was going to be a Boy Scout this morning and hop on the new four-wheeler. Oh, when you leave stuff out here in North Carolina, you get a heavy, heavy dew on it every single morning. So that's why I didn't want to take this thing. It's soaking wet. All right, say goodbye to the four-wheeler. It's going to need some love before we do anything. So we'll shut the garage door and climb onto the Kubota and get a wet butt. There's got to be a better towel around here somewhere. Here's one. Oh. So, thought Honda started first try every time. Really crushed. Well, it's my fault. The voltage is low. You could tell when I was trying to start that thing that it wasn't going to start. But I didn't expect that this morning. So, just more stuff. Like I told you, my dad said, the things that you own end up owning you. And, when it comes to tractors and farm equipment, stuff like that, minimizing your equipment is a must in most cases. Just, I've got 5 tractors here on the farm. One of them is in the shop. The Ventrac is in the shop right now. And it's always something breaking for sure. So let's fire it up. Yep, trickle charge time, exactly. As soon as I get back, that's what we're going to do. Throw her on the trickle charger. All right. It's like I was out after dark last night. Ooh, I'm going to get a wet head up here. It's soaking wet too. We're going to have some fun here. I'm going to have to slam on the brakes. See if I can get all this water to fall. Here goes. Oh, I'm going to be drenched. Oh, well, here we go. So the cows are on the very, very far side of the farm right now. As far away from the house as we can possibly get. So we're going to ride back through the woods. We're going to be moving the cows to an area from the bottom land up to the top land. And I'm getting drenched. Come on, bud. It's raining underneath the canopy here. Ah! Ah! Do you see the drops falling in this thing? Let's see if I ease off, if all the water will go that way. It's running off the roof. Oh, man. I totally forgot to open up the shipping container to let it breathe a little bit yesterday. So I got to do that as soon as we get done here. It's been raining in the shipping container where I'm keeping my lumber. We got to stop that. So just never ends, does it, guys? I turned the camera around, but you really can't see where we're going because it's so stinking cold. Leaves are starting to turn here. We're going to start building a fence up there really soon. Maybe today. And I am getting soaking wet by frozen water. Looking for deer this morning. Haven't seen a lot of deer since the season kicked off. It's pretty normal to not see very many deer. Oh no. Oh no. That didn't sound good either. Are we seriously batting 1,000 today? Oh man. I got a little sputter there and my fuel light just came on. So let's get the four-wheeler that's not running and hop in the Kubota that's not running. The fuel light just came on. I saw it come on. It was on and off yesterday. It would go up to 2 bars and then it would go back down. Kubota is letting me down lately. Let's just grab our coffee and go for a walk. Did you guys hear it? It sputtered. It's out of fuel. What a bummer. Batting 1,000 today. So I can't believe that just happened. It's not good when you run out of fuel in a little diesel engine. I could hear it sputter a little bit, so I just shut it off. Hopefully we didn't draw too much air and we'll get that thing fired right back up. Oh, that's a bummer. That's another thing for me to solve today. Awesome. When you run out of fuel in a diesel machine, guys, have you ever done that? Good morning from cold Redfield, New York. Is that what you said? Yeah, awesome. Love this place. Walking is good exercise. It is good exercise. We planned on walking, just not quite as far as we're walking today. So grab your coffee and let's take a slug. We know today is going to be, it's just started off so wonderful. I can hear the creek down there pitter-pattering a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful. Got some wild muscadines I just walked by. You know, when you walk, you get a different perspective of your property than when you don't just take a nice stroll. This is going to be where the farm stay cabin is. I actually have a phone call to make this morning with a timber frame fella out of North Carolina. And I'm looking across the field and I see something that resembles a groundhog out there. I don't know if it is or not. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. Wildlife. When we're walking, we get a lot more wildlife too. There are 2 huge bucks that come up to my house every night now to eat my edible gardens, which is just wonderful. This is the area of the farm where we have the worst cell service, and we are on a cellular network on this live stream. So bear with me as we hop the fence and walk up here where the cows are. Grab your coffee. Kubota diesels generally will pick up the fuel without having to bleed the system. Thank you, Rodney. That is a good piece of information. I knew I needed to put fuel in it, but I didn't know I needed it that bad. But boy, when you hear one sputter like that, I say that, but you say that too, Rodney. But the Ventrac ran out of fuel in nearly the same place right there just a few days ago. Well, a few days, just about a month ago. And that started the downhill fall of the Ventrac. Evidently, the wires got too hot as I ran the starter. It melted a wire. That wire blew a fuse and shorted out the computer on the Ventrac tractor. So that's why I haven't had the Ventrac for about a month now. So kind of a bummer. Some pickups have a hand pump fuel. Yeah, it may be a hand primer. I may have one on there. I'll have to take a look at it. I don't think it does have a hand primer on there, but that thing starts up like a charm every single time. So I think if I get some fuel in it, wait it out just a little bit, that will be just fine. I have to go grab the other 4-wheeler. That's so funny. I've got equipment from, we were just talking about how equipment can end up owning you, and then we just got owned by the equipment. Over we go. All right, I'll give you guys a little bird's eye view. Let's turn the camera around so you can see where we're going, what we're doing here. It is gorgeous out here today. So this is where we're going. We had the timber cut back in here. This area wasn't left alone. I had them come in and select cut. In other words, they took the biggest and then they took the smallest. And we left enough in here, left about 30 feet between trees. There's a few trees that need to go in here and they'll be used for firewood. One tree is this one where it's doubled. It's never going to do anything if it's doubled up like that, and you can see it's got a curve in it. What we want is big, tall, straight trees like that guy there. Had a frog in my throat all morning this morning. A little bit of a tummy ache. You know, when you're out of town and you come back home, what happens to me is I get a little bit congested for some reason. So, beautiful, beautiful day here. We walked up through here yesterday too, guys. All right. Acorns all over the ground. Surprised we haven't jumped any wildlife. Hop the fence again. And we're going right back in there. Cheers. Grab your coffee. Gonna have some good wet feet after this. This is where the cows were 2 days ago. Can't even tell. Aside from the manure, you can't tell. All right, we'll start calling the cows here. Woo! Let's see if it works. Woo, girls! So they need to come up to the waterer that's back in that corner, and we're going to let them out into this little section of pasture. Woo, girls! You can tell this is a hill because I'm out of breath. Yeah, ouch on the Ventrac, Chris, plague of badgers. going to be a bill somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 on that Ventrac. I kind of blame myself for it. And then again, I kind of don't blame myself. So I kind of blame myself in that I ran out of fuel and I overworked the starter. However, I would think there'd be some protection in place to keep that fuse from blowing, or keep that computer from blowing a fuse. We'll see. Oh. Go Mariners. Are the Mariners doing good? All right. South Scotty is talking about some days start like that. Oh yeah. South Scotty, you're asking about seeding pastures. I'm not wasting money putting down seed when I've got all these different types of forage out here. I don't need it. So the title of the video was basically what we need to discuss is winter stockpile forage for these cows. This landscape that you see here that has grass, it's probably, or grasses that are probably 5 to 14 inches high. It's got to last. And that's why we're moving the cows twice a day. You can see them, they're already up here waiting for me. That's why we're moving the cows twice a day. And we're establishing better and better forage as time goes on. There's no reason for me to waste money. And I don't know if you've checked grass seed prices lately, but grass seed is outrageous. With everything else that's outrageously expensive right now in our world, grass seed is one of them. Well, the situation we have here, I mean, we've got good grasses out here on this pasture, but they have to last. And that's why I'm moving them every 12 hours, guys. That's what we got to think about. So we're not letting them put enough pressure on this forage to really cause us any kind of setback. So what we're grazing now is planning for December, November, December, January. And we're close to November already. I mean, it's crazy. We'll be into November. It'll be Christmas before we blink, guys. But I can totally tell a difference in the grasses in these pastures. If you guys can't tell, there's a huge, huge difference. And again, we're on a multi-species pasture. So we've got cool season grasses, warm season grasses, clover, all sorts of legumes, anything and everything these girls and boys can eat. And Mona is over here moaning. Hey, Mona. Good morning. Woo, girls. So they've been down in the bottom. They've had access to about 2 acres all night. Last night, I moved them at pretty late in the evening last night. We're going to go ahead. We're going to open up this section right here and bring them on through. Girls ready? Girls and boys? All right. Come on through. Woo, girls. Come on. There you go. Butt heads leading the way as usual. Come on, girls. There you go. Morning, ladies. Come on, cows. Hey, sweetie. They're not too awfully rushed or excited. There's Cindy. Not too rushed, not too excited. Just getting it done this morning. I've noticed that they're consuming less. Since the cooler weather has hit, they're drinking less water and they're eating less grass. I don't know if that's something to do with nature and how all this works. I need to research it. Do cows eat less during winter? Here's old Woolly Bully. He's been quite the grump here lately. Woolly Bully will be leaving the farm probably sometime in the next 2 weeks. He's been in a little longer than we typically would want our bull, but these little heifers, these young heifers right here, are too small to breed, so he will not have bred them. So we got 3 more. Hey, 203. How are you? This is one of the little young bulls that we banded. So he's a steer now. Boy, they're pretty low key this morning, aren't they? Dwight says, don't rush it. I turned 64 in 2 weeks. Good for you, brother. Okay, so we got Tammy over there. I don't know if you guys can see her. Tammy's right there, and she's still behind the fence. So I guess we got to do a little roundup since it was so calm. Tammy just decided she didn't need to move. Hey, little 213. This is the most curious cow that we have. This little 213. Hey, come on. It's okay. She is so curious. She's going to make a good cow. I think that she is Butthead's daughter. So let's go round up Tammy. Tammy, you need to go ahead and do your job. There you go, girl. There you go, little girl. In case you guys don't know, Tammy is a guard donkey. Tammy's here to help keep the coyotes away from, or any predators away from the calves. And she does a pretty good job. She's not tame. She will come up to you once in a while, but she's just not a very tame animal. And I don't want her to be a very tame animal. We're going to go ahead and grab our fence, and we're going to block off the pasture that they were just in. Here's our fencing. And there's some cow poop for me to step in. Okay, we're just going to block off where they just came from. We'll take you guys down there and show you where they just came from. It's just that simple to move the cows every day, guys. This will be a pretty short live stream today, but let's show you where they were. This is an area that needs some love. I have brought soil in a couple times to slow down the erosion right here, and I actually put some water bars in right there. Did that on live stream too. So the girls were down in that bottom right there. This is the coolest place on the farm, and this has the best soils on the farm in this bottom. And then this evening, they're going to move down to this bottom right here. So we're down in the bottoms. I video a UFO this morning. It faded out and moved and reappeared in a different area, says Kevin. Interesting. Interesting. Where are you at, Kevin? We want to know. Well, let's go check on the girls and make sure they're all right. Texas. Huh. Anybody else see that? Tammy the tail-biting guard donkey. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So let's see what they're doing out here. So tonight, we'll go right back through where we were, right here, and we will open up this side gate, and they'll be able to get to that bottom. That bottom is split into 2 different pastures. And again, we've got 15 days. We've got 30 paddocks separating each pasture. So 30 different areas for the cows to graze, which makes a 15-day circle around this part of the farm. And then they go to the other side of the farm for 15 days. So we get a full 30 days of rest between moves. So this is what other farmers are doing on a different scale. So this is small scale compared to like Greg Judy and Joel Salatin, stuff like that. This is just a little bit smaller scale. How much land do you have? O'Day. I think that's how you say your name. We're on a 150-acre farm here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. So they're all seeking out the best grass right now. It's kind of what they do. So prismatic acres, yeah, around 60 paddocks. It might be 62 paddocks. Once we get the new section of the farm fenced, there are 2 pastures I want to fence. I want to fence around the pond, the big pond, and I want to fence another 25 acres that we drove by a little bit ago before we ran out of diesel fuel. So those two will make it about 70 different paddocks. So we'll get more rest between grazings, which is awesome. These cows are moving. They just keep on moving through the farm. Some people are not fans of that. They don't get it. And in a couple years, you'll get it. This did not look like this. This was bare land. I probably rolled out, gosh, at least 50 hay bales on this hillside right here. This was all bare land. Rocky, bare land. Dwayne says, watching from southeastern Kentucky. I came through there recently on Highway 64. Cricket Edit says, I got 16 subs. All right. Well, let me tell you, Cricket Edits, let me give you a little piece of advice. Change your channel name, brother. Change your channel name to something that's catchy and creative and reflects what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing on your channel, but you could change it to something that's a little more catchy. A lot of people, like Stony Ridge Farmer, it's a farm, right? It's a farm channel. It's a rural lifestyle channel. When I see Cricket Edits, it just seems to me that that's a video editing channel. So I don't know what you do, but consider seeking out your target audience with your channel name, buddy. Y'all keep your eyes on the sky at night. You'll see for yourself. Kevin, you must have saw something pretty crazy last night, huh? Leslie, thank you. Michael, thanks for letting me know. Leslie sent 1,000 stars. Thank you so much, Leslie. Really appreciate it. Look at this cow just chowing down. You got a little dirt in that bite there, bud. How many cows per acre with your rotational grazing are you doing there? So we're moving 35 cows. We had 45 up until about a month ago. And now we're running 35 cows on around 80 to 85 acres fenced. Now we're going to increase our stock numbers as our grass quality increases. So as we get better grass and better pastures, we'll be increasing our stock numbers. I dropped the numbers down to 35 for the winter because I didn't know how much stockpiled forage I would have for the cows, and I know hay was extremely expensive this year. There's Mona. Did you hear Mona? Hey, Mona. I know when she's coming. She just grunts like a big old bear. Yes, thank you, Leslie. Thanks so much. Carolyn keeps saying 9 months. I'm trying to read your comments, guys, as we talk. That's how long it takes a cow to have a baby, is 9 months. Just like a human. Started any of your fence post driving yet? Dave, not yet. We just talked about that just a minute ago. I'll probably start driving post today. I've got to mow, and I've been waiting on the Ventrac to come back so I can mow 2 laps around that pasture and get everything all cleared off appropriately so that I can do my fencing. However, it looks like we're going to have to put the big tractor to work and get up there and mow with the Batwing. So, Josh, are you going to be on Rumble? Some days, a lot of people moving to Rumble to get away from YouTube. Let me tell you something. Somebody from Rumble contacted me about starting a channel over there. And I emailed them back, and they never responded to me. So that's not the kind of people I want to do business with. Okay, so if they want me over there, then they can reach out to me, and that's it. That's it. You guys, you have to understand, it's hard to manage one social media site such as YouTube, much less 2 social media sites, much less 3, 4, and 5 social media sites. It's a full-time job just keeping up with what's going on all the time on YouTube and Facebook. So it's a full-time job, guys. it's a full-time job plus. So currently I have 2 companies helping me edit videos and helping me out. I can't do it all. I had to realize that about a year ago, that I just can't do it all. So getting out here, working the cows, doing what we do every morning, that's just an hour of my day. I've already been in front of the computer for 2.5 hours this morning. So just can't do it all. And a lot of people are all about Rumble. I get it. I get why. Absolutely. But from a creator standpoint, I haven't heard good things. I just, from a content creator standpoint, I just haven't heard good things. And again, they reached out to me and they didn't respond to my email. So I don't know. I don't do business with people that do that. It just, to me, and make no mistake, it's a business. This is work. I don't work for free. So I don't do business with people that don't respond. Put out some hay. They will only eat if the grass is not enough. Don't need to put out any hay, John. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, is having enough stockpile forage for these cows to munch on all the way up into January. Okay, I don't need to spend $50 rolling out a bale of hay and let the cows leave the hay behind, because they're only going to be on this paddock for about a little under 12 hours. They'll be out here from now until about 6 o'clock this evening. So really about 8 to 10 hours is all they'll be here. So what you see won't look much different tonight than it does right now. They just kind of go knock the tops out of things and then move on to the next. You're the only one that interacts with your fans all the time. Thank you, Chris. I enjoy it, buddy. Yeah, that Cricket Edits guy just kind of disappeared. Just popped in and said he had a certain number of fans, and then that's it. I haven't heard anything else out of him. Gave him a little piece of advice. So, whatevs. Teenage Farmer, take care. Appreciate it. Awesome. Cows are already healthy enough, it'd be a waste of hay. Exactly. There's no reason to feed. That's like putting out an extra bowl of food for your cat or your dog. It's just gonna go to waste out here if I rolled out hay on this. Now, when it comes wintertime and there's no forage, then we'll be rolling hay out, but we're not gonna roll hay out right now. Typically, these girls are gonna eat at least 1 bale of hay, maybe 2 bales of hay, and I'm working on getting another 200 bales out here. We're gonna get some hay that's not the most desirable. We're gonna roll out 1 good bale, and we're gonna roll out 1 not so good bale every day in the wintertime. That's my plan anyway. We've got neighbors around that have hay that's been sitting for like 2 years. It's only bad in some spots. In other words, it's only bad about 4 inches into the hay bale. So maybe 1/16 or 1/24 of the bale will go to waste, but nothing goes to waste if we're putting it out on the land. You can see right here. I mean, there's no bare spots at all here, with the exception of where I trenched this spring. And that trench is right there. And the cows really track that trench up. So you can see, and in a year, you won't even be able to see that. Okay, and we'll unroll hay right up on top of this. Cheers, guys. Grab your coffee. Take a slug. Birmingham, New York. Bales are $20 for a round bale. Richard, for a 1,000-pound round bale? You might mean square bale. Yeah, let us know. Let us know. All right. So everybody's happy, healthy, doing well. Yesterday after the live stream, I picked up rocks. I had to make up for all the days that I was gone. So it's a rule here, 10 rocks a day. I've got to pick up 10 rocks every single day. If I do that, then eventually I won't have any rocks in my pastures. That is the goal. I hope. They seem to be birthing out of the ground. Look at that. There's a little fertilizer machine going to work. What kind of girls are they? These are Black Angus beef cattle. And the little calves are soaking up the sun. This little calf right here, you can see, it's just standing there kind of soaking up the sun. Hey, 217. Were you chilly this morning? Were you chilly? Are you soaking up the sun or are you going to the bathroom? Huh? That's that curious face. That's that curious head waving right there. Got a little wet butt. You can see a little bit of scours going on with that calf. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. What I call a little bit of a wet butt. And what that comes from a lot of times is just a diet that's a little too high in protein. That can cause a cow to get the scours. So we'll keep an eye on her. We want to make sure she stays healthy. I'm pretty sure that's a her. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that's a she. Yep, we got to keep an eye on that. That's why we walk with the cows every day and we spend some time up here with them every single day so we don't miss stuff like that. Okay, and a lot of farmers will just paint you a picture, or a lot of YouTubers really will paint you a picture of perfection on their farm, and it's not perfect all the time. It just isn't. 216 is a real curious little critter, and 201 is also. So I came over here yesterday and I just sat with the cows yesterday evening for, I don't know, 35 minutes or so and just watched them. Like I said, everybody's got a little bit of wet butt going on. What that means is they've been into a lot of clover. $20 for a round bale. Usually the 4x4 round bales are there old. Barbara says, dumb question. These are beef cows. These are not milk cows. So no, they're you could milk them, but no. Did you get your water tank problems fixed? Yep. Thank you, Ronnie. Just looking at your stuff here. I will send where in New York you can buy. Richard, don't send me anything, brother. I don't need, I'm not coming to New York to get hay. No way. I can't come to New York and get hay. That would be ridiculous. If that's what you mean, that would be, I couldn't do that. There's no way. So, well, we're going to go up here real quick. There's Woolly Bully. There's a rock right there I want to pick up, but it's been peed on. So I'll skip that till tomorrow. Oh, man. All the girls are doing great, guys. Look at that. Looks like somebody took a big old pepper shaker and shook it off on the land. My field is an old hayfield that hasn't been limed ever. I don't think, because I don't have any clover and a lot of broom sedge. It's probably been limed if it was an old hayfield, but you can get it back. What are the pros and cons of going from a belt drive to a shaft drive and a UTV? Man, there's so many different pros to that. So you see me, I'm not riding a belt drive UTV. I'm riding a Kubota side by side. With the belt, I had the John Deere Gator 825i. I had it for a year. I'd already gone through one belt and one clutch and two axles. So I'm just not a fan. $1,200. What are you guys talking about? I can't. Carolyn, what are you talking about? Trying to look at your conversation here and see what you guys are talking about. How are you doing today, Josh? In Monterey, Tennessee, and we've got some rolls of hay to sell for $40 a roll. Yep, I'm not close to Tennessee, brother. I'm 6 hours from you if you're in Tennessee. So you got to buy your hay local. My hay is, there you go, girl. My hay is a high quality hay I bought this year, and it was $47 a roll. So if you're buying hay that cheap, get ready because it's coming next year. It's going to be much more expensive. If people are selling hay that cheap, they're losing money. I mean, they just are. That's the problem with being in the hay business, is that you got Billy Joe Bob down the street here that's selling round bales that are a low quality hay that's all broom sedge, and they're selling it for $30 a bale. And then you got the guy that I buy my hay from that I know is a good high quality spring cut hay, and it's $45 a bale plus $2.50 to deliver. So yeah, $40 a bale is losing money. I mean, it's just losing money, and you better be careful because those guys, a lot of people, the fertilizer got so expensive this year, a lot of people didn't lime and they didn't fertilize, and they're going to be paying for that come next year. We're going to see a trickle down effect, guys, and you're going to see beef prices skyrocketing. I mean, you just are. So get ready for it. Absolutely get ready for it. Our beef prices are not going to skyrocket. And as soon as beef is available to purchase from the farm, I'll let you guys know. Locally sourced hay is the only way to go. It's affordable. Yeah. Well, my friends at Our Wyoming Life, Mike and Aaron, they bought a lot of their hay out of Missouri because they just didn't have good hay in Wyoming. So, yeah, I mean, shipping is a huge cost. Huge cost. They probably spend, I think we talked about $80,000 a year in hay. Awesome. If come to Texas, Josh, for a business, look me up. Got a weekend, please, you can use. Must be place. Texas is a big state, brother. But I don't see myself coming to Texas anytime soon. I got one more trip coming this year. Well, two more trips. We're going to Ohio, to Amish country, and also going out to the Equip Expo next week. So I'll be in Louisville, Kentucky at the Equip Expo next week. If any of you guys want to come to that, you can Google it. If you're in the local area, come to it. I hear it is awesome. It is like a green industry expo. So yeah, would it be worth liming 7 acres if you won't have animals on it for a few years? You need to start getting your soil in good shape, man. But I can't give you the advice that to get your soil in shape. You're going to have to make that decision. But yeah, I mean, it takes years to get it in shape. So what you lime takes 6 months to effect, okay? Look at a product called Solucal. Google it. Look it up. It's called Solucal. It's a faster acting lime and absolutely would do you good to get your pastures in shape before you move your cows. Spell check changes things on me. That talk to text never works, does it, Kevin? Grocery stores in my area are still limited on what's available. Produce is hit or miss. Yep, it's time to grow your own garden. I heard something about the government trying to tax people when they grow their own garden. I can't believe that. That seems pretty ridiculous. I don't know. Don't know about that. Well, the cows are doing great. I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to take a little walk. We've got to walk back a little different than we walked out since I'm not going to be driving the Kubota. So I guess we'll just take a walk straight across the middle of the fields here. Hopefully I don't get zapped by the fence wire. You can't tell. You could hardly tell that the cows were on this pasture that I'm on right now. And again, that will have a full 30 days of rest. Everything that we're walking on will have a full 30 days of rest. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow morning. I think it's tomorrow morning. Today's Tuesday and Thursday morning. I can't even keep my days straight. Supposed to get rain, which is going to help our pastures recover also. So pretty excited about all that. Awesome. Guys, this is the farm this morning. It's a beautiful day. Thank you all so much for joining me. Take yourself a nice slug of coffee for me. I've got to run and grab a fuel can, come back over here and get that Kubota back started. I got to charge the battery on that other machine and potentially get started on some fencing today and potentially run the sawmill. I'd like to get all of my fence boards set up on the sawmill this morning. So we'll see. It's going to be another beautiful day. Thanks, guys. Take care. If I go live, I may go live on the sawmill later today. So stay tuned. Keep your ears peeled. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time on the Stony Ridge tomorrow morning, bright and early.